All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on Forgotten Weapons. This is day 2 of Lynx Brutality 2026. I am back in my Grayman specialty armored suit. So I have 3+ Velocity Systems plates here. Normally they would be underneath my dress shirt, but if I film it that way, you'd never know I had armor. So we're doing it this way. Yesterday I was shooting a Car 15 of my own with an Aimpoint Comp M2 and something went wrong and the zero is completely screwed. I don't know if it's the gun or the optic, but today I'm tired of taking rifle penalties, so I have borrowed Giga's gun. Giga from Polenar Tactical, the fantastic folks, of course, who put on Lynx Brutality every year. And he is essentially running the same gun that I am. It's a Car 15 with an Aimpoint. His is one better. It's a Comp M3 mounted up on the carry handle instead of on a gooseneck. He's got a vaguely effective suppressor on it, but it's shooting straight. So this is what I'm going to use today for my rifle. And, of course, I still have my left-handed Laugo Remus. Had some issues with it yesterday that were my fault. Anyway, today, hopefully, we'll be doing a little better. So, we've got 5 more stages. Let's dive in once again.
All right, if I haven't made this clear already, I really want to give a big shout out to Polenar Tactical. The whole crew that they have, like, this is a seriously large team that is organizing and running the match. The entire match has been live streamed the last couple of years, which is a fantastic, amazing thing. The footage that you're watching here today and yesterday is actually from the live stream, just with the audio commentary muted out so that I can give you my insights on it instead. Yeah, it's a fantastic production. It is one of the best matches that I've ever been to, on par with Finnish Brutality, which is really quite the thing. Now, our first stage of the day starts down in the forest with a tag-in, company name, 40mm pneumatic grenade launcher. It's using practice grenades, but they do have a small bursting charge in them, so you do get a really cool loud bang when the grenade hits, which is a lot of fun. So I start with my rifle slung. This is a rifle and pistol stage, so rifle slung, pistol holstered. And the first thing I'm going to do is grab that grenade launcher, load it up, and I have 1 shot for a 60-second bonus on the clock. So here we go. It's a side opening thing, so we'll get that in there, get the shell in carefully, and aim it, and come on, there we go. No recoil, just a little bloop. And a nice bang. Again, I apologize that the camera angle didn't switch over to that, but I did make the hit. At the same time, I also forgot to actually pull the chamber flag out of my rifle, so loading that was a little bit slower than normal. We have shooting ports through the side of the tunnel here at pretty close range paper targets. Some GoPros set up along the way to get some extra cool angles. Then unload the rifle. You have 1 shot on that yellow target at the top. If you don't make your 1 shot, it is a 60-second penalty for a miss. All the penalties in Lynx and Finnish Brutality, all the penalties in the proper brutality matches are, in fact, 60 seconds. So those can add up real fast. We then draw the pistol, engage a number of pistol targets, do a clearing shot through the pistol here, and then drag all of my kit through this tunnel. This was fun. This seemed like a really complicated stage when we were getting the initial walkthrough, but then it turned out to actually be a fast, fun, and fairly intuitive stage to shoot. You're basically running down the length of the target of the tunnel, engaging all the targets as you see them. So ends here with 4 poppers. The Laugo Remus makes very short work of 4 poppers. That, by the way, that's the doorway for the grenade launcher. And that's it. This was a great start for the day for me. I've got a new rifle that has a proper 0. I've got a bonus on this stage. I've got no timeout. And let's see where we can go from here. Let's see if I can keep up this sort of performance. All right, next up we have another cool themed stage. This entire stage is shot from a quad. And I have very little experience driving a quad. I've done it a little bit at actually 2 other matches, at Finnish Brutality and Czech Combat, but I don't own one myself. I don't have any friends who own them. I've never done any real amount of driving on them. So this is going to be a bit challenging. They have set up, get my dot bright enough for the full sunlight here. Anyway, they have set up an obstacle course that you have to drive through with target engagements along the way, and it is a tight and difficult obstacle course. in conjunction with the fact that we're driving on gravel. So there were a lot of instances here where I would give the thing some gas and turn the wheels all the way, but it wouldn't actually, it would go forward a bit until the front wheels caught and started to turn. Like, this was a tricky course to get through. Anyway, it does start with a shooting engagement. We have 4 plates and then a stop plate. So for every one of the engagements, what you have to do is hit each of the 4 plates once, then drop the magazine and fire your chambered round right here at the designated stop plate. Having done this, the rifle is absolutely 100% empty. So 180-degree safety rule no longer applies. I can drop it on the rack on the front of the quad and continue on. So here we go. Get to our second shooting position behind the car and repeat the process. This seems a little bit not super exciting or impressive perhaps from the video, but this was a fun and challenging stage to do. Unfortunately, it's going to get a bit wonky for me here. So here's our first, there we go, end of the first rifle set of rifle targets. Now go through the slalom, which, like I said, it's a very tight slalom. And I actually pulled this one off. We're going to keep going until we get to the first pistol position. Oh, there we go. That's a penalty. But I am at the first pistol position, so now I do the same thing with the pistol. Again, Laugo makes this pretty darn easy. I apologize, there's the sound is muted on the audio track here, but 4 for 4, and bink, there's the stop plate, reholster the pistol, and continue on. There are a total of 2 rifle positions and 2 pistol positions, and then, oh, and there's another penalty knocking over, oh, and there's another one knocking over yet more tires. This is not my forte, this sort of driving. So here's our second pistol position. Stand up. By the way, when you're doing this, you're always shooting standing up, and you have one foot on the brake of the vehicle to ensure that it doesn't start moving underneath you. There we go. Another clean, easy pistol run. I managed to miss that one, so that's another penalty. And then right there, I managed to unintentionally hit the kill switch on the left control handle of the quad. I didn't realize there was a kill switch, and I'm sitting here looking like an idiot going, what did I do? So the RO realizes after a few seconds what I have done, disengages it. I'm able to restart it, but there we go. There's no way I'm going to make it through the slalom, so I kind of go backwards there to avoid some of the penalties. But I've only got now 13 seconds left. What I'm supposed to do is get back to the car, stop, exit the quad, bring my rifle up to this line of tires, and engage one last time. Unfortunately, I just barely have the rifle loaded when I run out of time. So a grand total of 900 seconds in penalties here. That was really, really quite bad. However, I kind of got saved in the scoring on this one by an unfortunate series of events. On the second, on the afternoon, the second batch of squads going through, the quad started having mechanical issues and stopped running reliably. And so unfortunately, there were a couple squads that didn't really have the opportunity to do this stage as it was designed. And the stage was dropped from the eventual scores because obviously it's not fair to include that in the scores when not everyone got the same experience there. So unfortunate that I performed so incredibly badly on it. But it was a fun stage and something I'd like to do again. All right, stage 8 is another pistol-only stage, which I'm looking forward to at this point in the match. Like, Laugo Remus is a fantastic pistol. I'm having a good time with it. I can shoot it quite well. You know, bring it on. Let's do this. This stage involves 5 separate different pistol engagement elements. So, by the way, right there, you can see the magazine pouches in the cummerbund of my Varusteleka plate carrier. So I don't have any rifle mags on me because this is a pistol-only stage, but I've got a pistol mag in the front on each side. That makes for very secure and pretty darn accessible storage. All right, so 5 positions here. You can do them in any order you want. There are 2 spinners and then 3 sets of moving paper targets. I opted to go with the spinners first because I'm quite confident that I can get them. After each element, you'll get this by now, you drop the magazine, engage the stop plate, and then reholster the pistol. So first spinner's still rolling there. Now it's time to spin over the second one. Double taps on the bottom, single taps on the top, and over it goes. These spinners are not any sort of challenge with the Remus, which is awesome. Pinnacle concealment holster there. By the way, they do an outside the waistband belt holster for the Remus that worked really well. Nice and concealable under the jacket. So that target I got a penalty on. I got a perfect double tap on the paper, only to, for some stupid reason, decide to fire a third shot, which was a perfect A-zone center punch on the no-shoot. So that, of course, was yet another penalty. This one is the easiest of the swinging targets. You got a lot of time accessible on the shoot target. And then here's the very last one, hit the popper. You then have just a moment before the clamshell comes back up. And there we go. So another fairly straightforward stage, pistol stage. I did pretty well on this. One penalty, unfortunately. I had a quite good time on this. I was very happy with it, with the exception of that one. It hit right through the center of the no-shoot, which was totally my fault, and I shouldn't have done it. Oh, all right, let's move along. Wall tax is not the greatest name for this stage, but okay, whatever. You may recognize elements of this from stage on day one. We have the same sort of shooting involved here, where we've got 20 total very small little plastic targets. They're about 2 inches in diameter, and you've got 4 sets of 5 of them. So I'll be engaging 2 sets with rifle and 2 sets with pistol, having to cycle back and forth between the two. And instead of a series of obstacles like we had in the gauntlet on this bay yesterday, we have a divider wall in the middle of the stage and 3 squishy exercise medicine balls, 5 kilo, a 10 kilo, and a 15 kilo, which are going to come out to something like 12, 22. Oh, yeah, sorry, face planted there. 12, 22, and I think 35 pounds, 36 pounds, something like that. So every time you go back and forth from one side of the stage to the other, you have to toss all 3 of those over the wall. So we start with pistol. I start on the other side, but you drop the rifle, run to this side, knock down the first set of pistol targets, which, thank you, Laugo, very super easy. And then come back, hoist all of these over the wall once again. The whole purpose here is stress. It is stress and to wear you out and get you winded and find out how you shoot once you're getting tired and breathing hard. So once again, the paper are all no shoots. Any hit in the brown paper is a 60-second penalty per instance. Yesterday, I had a lot of trouble with this with my rifle, with its wandering zero. Borrowing Giga's rifle today, as you can see, those were no problem whatsoever. So we got 2 more cycles left. One of the things that I've figured out to do here is once you throw objects like that, don't watch them. There are some people who will watch them all the way down to the ground on the other side and then start moving. You can actually pick up a bit of time by, once you know it's over, don't bother looking at it. So, all right. Once again, making the pistol side look easy. I've got a really good time going here, and I've only got 1 set left. Now I don't care how far those balls go. On the previous rounds, you want to get them kind of close to the wall, so you don't have to go collect them. Get back to the rifle, throw myself down into the gravel, and proceed to... We clean it. 3 for 3, 4 for 4, and 5 for 5. This was a fantastic stage. Without a doubt, this was my best stage of the entire match. It was a lot of fun. I was very winded at the end, but I love doing this sort of physically, there you go, very excited there, physically strenuous stage. The suit works great. The shoulders are elasticized to allow me to present a pistol forward. Like everything I need this suit to do, other than preventing me from doing a little bit of an initial faceplant there, works great. So big thanks to Grayman and Company for hooking me up with one of these. It's very cool. All right, we got one last stage, and that was the year's blind stage. All right, positive ID. There is a shoot house at the Lynx Pro Training Center that Giga has gotten into the habit of doing a blind stage on. So this is a blind stage using MTX rounds. So practice force-on-force rounds, although there are no actual other live people in the stage this time. You are given 2 tourniquets. You are told that there are booby traps in here. You have to retrieve a prototype rifle and engage 10 bad guy targets. So any target with a pistol printed on it is bad guy. Shoot them all. You have 10 rounds in the rifle, and you have, I think, 10 rounds in the pistol as well, which is really only intended to be used if the rifle malfunctions, because training ammo sometimes does that. There is no, well, there's a time limit to this stage, but your time is 180 seconds. And if you complete this stage in anything less than 180, your time is 180. So you're encouraged to do it carefully and properly. Notice the tripwire there that I managed to not trip. I see that coming and avoid it. I am possibly the world's worst room clearer here. I think I would have been shot in the back several times if those targets were actual real people. But here we go. We come into the final room here, and there is the prototype rifle, and I am very paranoid about this. Like, I know there's traps and tricks somewhere, and yeah, lo and behold, there is a wire coming out the muzzle of that gun. So I figured I'm going to be sneaky and clever about this, and I'm going to try and pull it out, but I can't pull it out. It is threaded into the muzzle somehow. This is a deactivated dummy Mosin of some sort. So once I realize that it's threaded, I figure what I'm going to try and do is hold the tripwire in place and unscrew the rifle off of it. Unfortunately, it did not work, and I managed to wiggle it just enough to pull the detonator and set off the trip bomb. If you do that, you have to take one of your tourniquets and apply it to a limb properly. As long as you do so, there's no penalty. So this was a combination of, a fun, interesting environment. Do you know how to properly apply a tourniquet? Which I'm reasonably happy with my performance on that here. So this stupid thing, yank. However, this is the end of the stage. So I have successfully already engaged all 10 of the targets, and now I can head out and perfectly clean score. I tripped the bomb, but I successfully put on the tourniquet properly, nice and tight. So I am good to go. And that was the end of my 10th stage of Lynx Brutality 2026.
All right, so my last 2 stages were my best stages of the match, which is a really cool way to end things out. This has been a truly fantastic experience. Kind of always is. Lynx Brutality is an amazing event. The Polenar Tactical crew do an amazing job setting it up and running it. It's been really cool to watch this develop from its very first years to what it's become now. So it's the end of the match, which means I can have a beer, and more importantly, it means I can take off my armor. Now, I still need to keep the suit on, but now that the shooting has ended, I no longer need my armor protection. So, shirt's a bit sweaty and rumpled. But now, without the armor, we can go back to our regular setup. We just take the button from here. I'm going to switch it back over to this side. And now I have my magnetically buttoned, double-breasted, beautifully fitted suit jacket. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this year's Lynx Brutality videos. If you ever have the chance to come here and participate in the match, you absolutely should not miss the opportunity. Thanks for watching.